Hi everyone, I'm here today at Ducati Nottingham and we're celebrating 20 years of the Multistrada bike today. We're taking these Multistradas out to the Wymondham windmill, bit of a tongue twister. So here we've got a Multistrada V4S and a Multistrada V4 Rally, and we've got a 1200S over there. So we've got a nice range of the Multistrada bikes here today. I'll be joining them on my Suzuki 650 since I'm on an A2 restricted license. So no Multistrada for me today, but maybe I'll have better luck next time. So I'm here today with Steve, the regional coordinator of the Ducati Owners Club East Midlands. So do you want to tell us a bit about where we're heading today?
Wymondham windmill. Passed it dozens and dozens of times. It's in the middle of nowhere off to the edge of Melton Mowbray. Nice roads around the area. We'll be going through Colston Bassett, which is where the famous cheese comes from, that's made locally. That's really good if you like cheese. And then adding out into the Vale of Beaver, and there's some nice roads around there. But with all the rain we've had yesterday, I don't know what conditions are going to be like.
Yeah.
We might be lucky, and it might be clean. But on the other hand, I might be cleaning the bike again when I get home. More than likely.
Well, on a bike like the Multistrada, I'm sure there'll be no problems.
Well, it is an adventure bike.
Exactly.
So every day's an adventure.
Yep.
Every journey's an adventure, isn't it?
I'm here with Chris on his Multistrada V4 Rally. So, how does the Multistrada compare to previous bikes that you have owned or that you currently own?
The bike itself is designed for touring, which is one of the reasons we go for Multistradas. I do own other Ducatis, Street Fighters, but these are by far the best bikes for touring on. They literally do everything.
I'm now here with Dave on his Multistrada V4S. What was your previous bike before this?
And the first one was a 2010 1200. I had that for probably 6 months before getting this one, but obviously this one has got a lot more of what I wanted on it. That was the only reason for changing, really. Yeah.
Always wanted a Ducati, never thought I'd ever own one. Then my pension turned up.
Oh.
And I thought, what can I 10 grand for nothing? So
At this point, how many Multistradas have you owned?
3. I've been a customer of Ducati Nottingham for many, many years, and most of my bikes I bought through them, especially the new ones.
Yeah.
And as I say, I currently own quite a few other road bikes, but if I'm going to go touring, then it's definitely a Multistrada. I have owned non-Ducati bikes before, but I keep coming back to them, so there must be something right about it.
at the time, years ago, everything was sports bikes, and they're not really suitable for two of us, and we're always two up.
Yeah.
Saw the Multistrada, started looking into them, realised I could part X the FZ8 in with probably 2/3 of my pension free bit and buy this. Bought this, loved it, tried it at Gymkhana, it was pretty good, and I thought, well, I can't have a Yamaha at one end of the garage and a Ducati at the other, I've got to go all Ducati.
So I've had one of the very first Multistradas, the 1200, then I had a 1200S, then a 1260S. This, as I say, is not mine yet, but I will be getting one. The 1200s were a good bike, and I had one of the first ones with the electronic suspension, so that was an all new thing that was going on with bike technology. And then I had a 1200S upgraded to that, and then obviously the 1260S, which was even, a more developed bike.
Yeah.
I had the Hypermotard 950 SP, and that got all the gadgets on it: the quick shifter, the downshift, traction control, ABS, and that's what I wanted in something for my next Multistrada, which this has got. It's got everything I need. Go anywhere, do anything by it, really.
Yes, best bike I've ever had. The suspension's fantastic. It's awesome two-up. Does absolutely everything I want to do. Wife loves it. She's so comfy on the back with having the Skyhook suspension. It's just brilliant. And the ability to change settings. I mean, today's route, we're going to be on quite a bumpy road. And the last time we went down there, it was quite bouncy, and the wife started to complain a little bit because we're having a bit of fun. So I put it into enduro mode and jack it up, and then, all right, it softens the horsepower, but with the conditions and stuff we're probably going to find today, that's not a bad thing.
I've had it for about a month and a half now. The engine took a lot of getting used to. obviously, because I've gone from the V-twin to the V4S. But now it's just, you feel like you're a part of the bike.
Yeah.
It's so smooth, it does everything that you want it to do, really.
I currently own a 1260S Multistrada, which is the V-twin one, as you know. And this is Ducati Nottingham's demo bike, which I borrowed today because my bike's in for service. But I have actually taken this out before on ride-outs with them. And I will obviously be getting one of these. I just think the smoothness of the bike, especially at the slow speed stuff and the cruising ability, extra fuel range that this bike has got over the normal V4, just makes it the ultimate bike to use when you're touring.
So with that in mind, how has the technology on this Multistrada V4S improved your riding experience from the 1200 that you had before?
Basically, it's a lot smoother. Like I say, changing gears, especially when you've got somebody on the back.
Yeah.
You haven't got that clunky movement when you do change gear. And shifting down is so much easier, that side of it. But the cruise control is fantastic. It just gives you so much more comfort. You're not tired. The advances that from the 1200, they're better, and the suspension as well is so much better as well.
And it gives you more suspension travel, so you glide over stuff even better. So it's just absolutely everything. Everything.
The V4s are a lot smoother, a lot easier to use at slow speed stuff, and they're easier to cruise on. The V4 Rally has got such a range on it now. We've got the capability of having aluminium panniers on, which is quite a lot of litrage of storage facility, so you can literally carry it wherever you need. And the bike's quite capable with that sort of weight on it. It is quite a heavy bike, but you don't notice it when you're riding it. It's absolutely fine to ride, and I just think that the ability to take it anywhere touring is really what appeals to me about the whole bike. I wouldn't need to think about having a second bike to do any sort of short touring or long touring. The bike will do it all.
So have you taken your Multistrada V4S on an adventure recently?
Not this one, no, but the 1200. In September, I went up to Scotland for a week, toured around there, and that was another deciding factor of why I wanted to change to the V4S, because yes, it was a good bike, but it was very, very hard on your arms, your wrists, your hands. So next year we're going to do Scotland again, and hopefully go down to the Algarve in Portugal on the V4S.
We're tending to take the camper van away with the bike on a trailer, and then walk the dog, try and run him ragged in the morning, and then go out for a play in the afternoon around the area we're on the bikes, and that's been working. So we've been able to get holidays away, but not necessarily a bike touring holiday, which we'd love to do.
If you say you haven't quite got a chance to do touring yet, what's your most memorable day trip out on this bike so far?
Blimey, we've been all over. Every day's fun, every day's an adventure, and there's always things to remember of everything you did. Even last weekend we ended up on a ride. I normally lead, one guy wanted to lead as a change. We ended up in a pretty little village that we sort of ford crossing, and we normally try and avoid fords if you can. And it turned out it wasn't a ford crossing, the village was the ford. So we had to ride 100 yards, 200 yards through 8 inches of water through the village, which was the ford. That was memorable.
How did the bike cope in those conditions?
Awesome. Just keep off the front brake, keep it pointing in the right direction, shiny side up. I've not found anything yet where it's not the right bike for the job. I really haven't. It does everything. Absolutely everything. It's got the performance horsepower wise that the Booster had. So if you need it to get up and hustle, it does. It's really comfy. You can cross. We've had days and days out on it. We've done 300 or 400 miles in a day and stuff, and it's just been brilliant. All right, you have to stop and rest your knees and your backside, but
we have a few chaps in the car club that go abroad with them, get them shipped. Go and do Morocco, everything really. So the bike's capable of literally doing everything, especially with the electronic suite you've got now. Obviously, you've got active cruise control, all that sort of thing. Lots of safety features. And it literally makes touring anywhere in the country easy, and obviously on the continent as well.
I've bought this with 10,000 miles on it in August 2019, and it's now got 39,000 on it. We've been a long way in only and we've had a lockdown.
What keeps you coming back to the Multistrada family?
The advances and the refinement that come with the technology that Ducati put into the Multistrada, it just makes it such a lovely bike to ride. And I also think that when you get a good dealership like Ducati Nottingham, you know, this is the second bike I've had off them, you're like you're part of a family, and everything that they've shown me about this, it sold it for me, basically. And I think that's part of being like the Ducati family, really.
I can't think of anything else I'd like to be on. Best bike I've ever had. One day I'd like to move to something else, but it would be a progression from the Multistrada to something newer Multistrada, no doubt.
So if you could have any of the Multistrada family, which one would it be?
At this point, it's got to be the new Pikes Peak. Looks the part. It's a shame they went with the number 1 on the front rather than number 5 for Colin Doon, who was the guy who used to take it up the Pikes Peak, where it got its name from, and it was all. So it would have been a really good tribute to him, which is a real shame. It only went with the number 1. I guess they did that because it's supposedly the best.
Number 1 Multistrada.
Number 1 being a winner, rather than a number 5 being he never even mentioned. But that would have been good. I mean, that's why I run with the number 5 on the front of this, just as a bit of a tribute to the guy. Yeah, money no object. Love a Pikes Peak. I'd love to have a go on a Panigale, but I building trade for 40 odd years and knees are shot, so there's no way I could tuck my knees onto there and torn shoulders. I couldn't get myself crouched onto one of those. I think I'd love one.
Especially from coming off this, I think it would be a bit of a shock.
Definitely.
How painful it would be after an hour's trip on a Panigale.
Yeah, I'd love to have a try just to see how much, just to appreciate the quality of them and what they're capable of. But as an all-round bike, for me and the wife, the Multistrada just hits every bit, and the Pikes Peak just looks to be, at this point, the nicest one of the range. I love the way it looks, love the write-up all about them. One day, might dream, you never know.
For sure.
I don't know if my pension money's gone, but I don't know. I don't know whether I'll find some more from somewhere.
Well spent though.
Oh God, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.